What's up, guys? This is RG giving you another high definition broadcast. This is the Beta Patch 13 patch notes by Lylera, as always, and these are my thoughts on them. There's a lot of stuff to go through, guys, so probably going to be a decently long video. Obviously, I'm not going to go through every single thing, but I'm going to go most of the important stuff. This is very important. Intelligent now grants 0.1 per point to resistances and will no longer award any bonus healing from health globes. Healing from health globes, that's really not that great. The 0.1 per point to resistance is very good. Now intelligence is viable for all classes, for PvE and PvP, and it's just a good stat to go with. A lot of people were telling them to do this, and I also was saying that. This is a very good change. Another thing is that's important is dual wielding. Now, certain skills only use your main hand. So if you have two different weapons, one is your main hand weapon, you always want to keep your highest damage in your main hand, which is your right hand. So, and it actually appears on your left because if you're facing someone, it's gonna be on the left. So the left slot, that box there, that'd be your main hand. All right. So, auction house, I already talked about the auction house, so we're gonna skip that. There's public chat is available to test, and it's also cross game, but it's only on people that are on the PTR. So the public test realm for World of Warcraft and StarCraft, if there's a public test realm up, then you'll be able to. Oh, excuse me, it's early in the morning for me. Test. Be able to test this, and yes, it's as you can see, it's 1:14 p.m. Yeah, I was up really late last night, but let's not get into that now. So here we go. There's a bunch of skill changes that I remember I was hazy about it. I didn't really read over the patch notes before, and yeah, all of the runes are available at level 6. Or a rune, that is, for your first skill is available at level 6, and then you're able to unlock more runes as you go along. And no, you don't have to find the runes, they just straight up give you the runes. So they're letting you test runes now. And then like I said with the this is pretty much something that they're doing for players that don't know how to categorize their skills or don't know how to build their player. Again, it's a little bit of a noob friendly thing that they're doing here. They're adding each skill to a specific button, and a lot of people were saying, oh yeah, just turn on elective mode, because pretty much this is the mode where you want to go. For sure, check this off if you know anything about the game, because you don't want them to limit which skills you can put where. I was kind of like pissed off in the monk video. I didn't even know. I was like, whoa, what the hell? They're like screwing up the game, but you could actually just turn it off. I don't know why they wouldn't just let you assign different skills in different places, and then you can figure out yourself. They've never done this before, where they just like, hey, you're a noob, I'm gonna start you out as a noob, and here you go. You could get this skill in 1 and put this there, and it's locked. But you have to go actually into the options menu and enable elective mode, and it'll let you do whatever you want. Pretty much, you can swap skills and all that. Another thing, they decreased it, like I said, from 30 seconds to 15 seconds, so half the time. Definitely needed to do that, because it's pretty much when you're swapping skills, you're useless for 30 seconds. For that skill's useless for 30 seconds. Now it's only useless for 15 seconds. Much better than it was before. Although I'd rather have it to like 10 seconds or something like this. So yeah, you could be able to switch skills really fast. But I mean, 15 seconds is better than 30. So again, I'm just gonna go over quickly. The primary attack is for generates basically resources typically. Secondary attack applies to more powerful skills. Defensive is obviously defensive, escape, or crowd controlling skills. And yeah, there's different skill areas for each class. And I mean, there's the same skill areas for each class, but there's different skills for each class, obviously. So basically, you just want to turn on elective mode. Go into the options, turn on elective mode, and you can switch your skills freely. Okay, so what I think they should do with this is they should really just say in the tooltip in the beginning, just say um, if you would like to have your skills assigned for you, click elective mode on. Because I mean, I don't know. Just for me, I wouldn't want any of my skills to be preset in an area, and I have to go into options to like preset my skills. Just seems like something that someone like maybe like a kid's playing the game and he doesn't know what to do at all, and then it says like to set your skills to elective mode, then click this, and then you click that, and then it'll just say set it to that or whatever, or I mean to set your skills to non-elective mode or whatever, because I don't know. I just don't think that they should start it that way. They should start it like that you could put your skills wherever you want, and then you could click an option, and then it'll turn it to that way. Because it's just totally weird to me that they would tell you where to put your skills. It never was like that in Diablo 2 or 1, and not even in World of Warcraft. So I don't know why they would do that with here this one. They're just their target base is just like super duper noobs. All right, so here we go. The next thing I wanted to show you guys is the class changes. The Barbarian pretty much increased in damage for Cleave, Frenzy, and Bash. Big thing here is with this patch they're doing no base damage to like stuns or freezes. So there's no weapon damage that is attached to the Ground Stomp or Frost Nova, stuff like this. But they increased the stun duration from 3 to 4. So it's really based on just do you want to stun in your arsenal, in your skill arsenal. Like it doesn't base skill damage no longer deals weapon damage. So the thing that you're seeing with the ground stomp there, shake the ground to inflict 110% weapon damage, that's no longer there. And at 3 seconds it went up to 4. So that's changed. Hammer Ancients increased damage, Leave Attack increased damage, decreased. This is big right here. Threatening Shout decreased from 50% damage reduction to 25% damage reduction. That's a 50% decrease right there. Very, very huge debuff right there for Threatening Shout. Now it's still viable skill. It's still good, but definitely not as powerful. One big thing that they did here that I really like is the maces and axes critical hit increase from 5% to 10%. Because remember the broken bones, or I forget what it was called, but it's something like breaking bones or whatever. It gives you 5% increased critical hit chance and like 5% increased critical damage, something like that. So it's like, why would you even get it? Maces and axes for Weapon Master, but now it does give you 10% increased critical hit chance, so it's just like much better. So yeah, and then the mighty weapons increased the fury generation from 1 to 3, so that's very good. Next thing, they really needed to buff the bola shot, which they have done significantly, by the way. But I still don't see myself using bola shot. But it's a very good skill now. Much better now than it was before. It's not. I mean, it's not very good. It's much better than it was. Calchop's not too big of a debuff here. This is a pretty huge buff for Chakram. It was already kind of OP for clearing crowds. As I don't think it'll be very useful for PvP. It will definitely be useful for PvE. Entangling Shot generation decreased, so they kind of nerfing Entangling Shot just a bit. Evasive Fire is going to increase the damage 25%. Passing has been improved for backflip, so just a little bit of buffs here. Very huge buff for Hungering Arrow, 115% down from 85. So the damage is increased very much for the Hungering Arrow, and this is going to be very good for PvP and for PvE. I always use Hungering Arrow, by the way. Impale, not too big of a debuff there. Vault pathing improved. Steady aim, this is huge. From 10% to 20%, and the 10 yards, it's really more like 5 feet. 10 yards is, 30 feet, so it's pretty crazy how much they actually buff this by 10% here. that 10% to 20%, obviously increase all damage by 20%. It's going to be ridiculous. And steady aim should be definitely used by all demon hunters, whether in PvE or PvP. Unless you're like a melee demon hunter, which I really recommend against going, because if you're going to be a melee demon hunter, you might as well go melee barbarian, which I think this is only barbarian except Yumio. Obviously, if you want to throw your weapon with weapon throw, but mainly melee barbarian. I would not go melee demon hunter, and I would definitely use steady aim as any demon hunter. Vengeance, which is the hatred generation bonus for health globes and stuff. This is the only one that I would actually recommend, but now it's actually nerfed here from increased maximum hatred from 50. It goes all the way to 25, so it's pretty low now. And yeah, it's just a big nerf here. And then they're increasing the health globe gain instead of increasing the maximum, which is a little bit of debuff. So here we go, going onto the monk skill. They're basically, I think, nerfing the Breath of Heaven, because yes, it costs like half as much, but they're adding a 15-second cooldown on it, and it used to have no cooldown at all. So it could just be like, however much spiritual gain, then you're gonna be able to heal whenever, but it now has a 15-second cooldown. I think that this is like really the only real heal in the game, besides the Witch Doctor's like ruined skill, and some other people have some heals, but this is really the only basic heal in the game. I can see that there should be a cooldown on it, but it is a nerf. So now Dashing Strike is mainly used for straight up, not damage, but straight up mobility here. They're changing it to a mobility and decreasing the damage from it. Exploding Palm, a little bit of a nerf. Lashing Tail Kick, a little bit of a nerf. I feel like they're nerfing the monk pretty heavily here, because look at this, chance to dodge has been decreased by 10% there. A secondary bonus from dodge attacks in effect for the first 3 seconds of activation also decreased. So they're just decreasing the monk's skills here, almost all of them. Then they give you them a dual wielding, chance to dodge bonus increased from 10% to 15%. I think that's a passive skill. So they're giving it a little bit of a buff on one of the passive skills, and even another debuff. So most of the monk stuff has been nerfed. Next thing I want to show you guys, Witch Doctor. Right here, Corpse Spiders, weapon for swing decreased from 38 to 25. And yeah, I actually didn't do this Corpse Spider video, so I definitely have to do it this patch. So next thing, Firebomb. They're pretty much nerfing him too. So nerf the Firebomb, nerf the Corpse Spiders, and then Grasp of the Dead's movement speed reduction. That's not too much increase, but still it's a buff. But I mean, 10% speed reduction versus they're nerfing all your damage here. Haunt no longer scales per level, now deals 350% weapon damage over 15 seconds, so it's not going to increase. Damage bonus to hexed enemies decreased from 20% to 12%, another nerf. They nerfed Plague Toads here. They also are going to decrease the weapon damage per hit from 15 to 9% per dog. Oh shit, sorry. So Spiritual Attunement, mana regeneration decreased from 2% to 1% of maximum mana per second. So they're pretty much smacking the monk and the Witch Doctor with the nerf bat in the head. Next thing I wanted to show you guys is the Arcane Power Regeneration, lowered from 12.5 to 10. Arcane Orb, that's damage increased, so it's going to give you more damage on the Arcane Orb. Maximum absorption decreased for Diamond Skin. Frost Nova, like I said before, it no longer has weapon damage, and it did not increase the time that they're frozen. So Ray of Frost is now usable in the beta, and it's pretty much buffed here with the damage, but they reduced the movement speed, which is, yeah, I would say so, because Ray of Frost, I mean, it's just, you cast it on them and it straight up reduces their movement speed by a lot. I mean, 40%, but they decreased it to 30. I agree with that. And the attack speed reduction decreased from 30 to 20. Okay, I agree with that too. I mean, Ray of Frost was really overpowered for that reason, but they're also giving it a damage bonus, so that's not so bad. And the duration of attack speed decreased from 5 seconds to 3 seconds. I kind of agree with this, just because Ray of Frost, I would believe, would be really, really, really overpowered for PvP. So it's good to see that, that we're not just going to have a bunch of wizards out there just Ray of Frosting people and then freezing them when they get close. Not too bad, but it is a decrease in, it's a little bit of a debuff to PvP, and it's increasing damage for PvE right here. So PvE debuff, PvP debuff, and PvE buff here. Next thing I wanted to show you guys is the Shock Pulse. I mean, who's ever going to use Shock Pulse? I don't think I will ever. You guys tell me, but Shock Pulse to me seems like a really, just one of those skills that just like, why would you use that rather than the Electrocute? Next thing I want to show you guys is weapon damage decrease of Wave of Force. So they're going to give you it's trying to make it more of a like a Frost Nova-esque type crowd control type skill, rather than just being a damaging skill. Then again, the Wave of Force is the only type of crowd control type AoE skill like a Frost Nova that does damage still. So it's giving you a little bit of reduction in damage, and it's giving you an increased movement speed reduction, which I think is a buff here. Next thing is Glass Cannon is going to be reduced from 20% to 15%. So it's just going to give you a quick debuff there. This is huge for me, guys. This crafting right here, so huge. Check this out, guys. The following affixes have a chance to appear twice when crafting. Okay, so just think about this: minimum damage, maximum damage, elemental damage of all types. So you can have 2 elemental damages on one weapon for both of your randoms. So that's gonna increase your damage by a lot. And I'm very excited to see what kind of double elemental damages we can see on this patch. Very huge. Next thing is the follower skills. The heals amounts increase, the Templar, and the healing per second is increased for the Templar as well. The next thing here is passive Spirit Regeneration. For Spirit Regeneration, affixes has increased. Quivers now grant plus damage. New affixes have been added. Chance to hit fear, stun, freeze, immobilize, chill, blind, slow, no knockback. So knockback we've not seen on items thus far, and I was kind of missing it. But yeah, knockback's there now, guys. So no fear. Vendors are now changed. They have only a 10% chance to stock white items rather than 30% chance. So they're just gonna have pretty much better items now. They're able to change their inventories more often throughout the game, and their values for items has been reduced. So that means that they're gonna sell for cheaper. The health damage of all monsters in the game has been adjusted. The health and damage, that is. So the amount of gold dropped by monsters has been increased. So that is pretty much it for the patch, guys. Tell me your thoughts on the patch. I pretty much covered almost every single thing in there, as well as went on a little rant about the what they shouldn't put elective mode, or they should have elective mode straight up on, and then you could have an option where you could choose to be a noob if you like. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the beta patch 13. I know it's been a really long since the patch has been out. Not hugely long, but it's been a while. So definitely tell me if you guys have any comments on the patch that we've just read out here, and tell me if you have anything to say about it, what you think they should do instead of the elective mode or whatever. I think they should just straight up take out the noob mode, but I mean, I guess there's a huge amount of noobs out there that they're trying to target, and they're just starting it out, saying like, oh yeah, you're a big noob, and if you're not a noob, then turn on elective mode. Guess that's what they're saying. But you guys tell me what you think about that. Also, please tell me what you guys think about the changes, and definitely tell me what other walkthroughs I should be doing. I know a bunch of you guys said you wanted to see a bunch of different walkthroughs. I will also be showing you level 13 maxed out characters, so don't worry about that. But for now, tell me what other characters you would like to be seeing in the beta patch 13, and tell me anything else you'd like to see on video captured about the beta patch 13, and I'll hopefully be able to get that to you soon, as I have been catching up with all my schoolwork, and I'm pretty much on top of the ball right now. I've been doing all my assignments like right after I get them, so I'm able to pretty much cast whenever now, hopefully, unless something crazy happens, like they give me a really hard test or something like that. But I'm pretty much on the ball now, so I'm able to cast a lot more than I used to in the very beginning, because I didn't know how I was gonna deal with 5 classes and going to work and casting. But I'm kind of on top of it now. So just tell me what you guys want to see, and I will get those videos back to you as soon as possible. So if you guys are watching this straight up on YouTube, definitely go hit that subscribe button and tell me what you guys want to see, definitely in the comments below. Also, check out my channel, and yeah, thank you all for watching, and take it easy. Peace.